3, 2, 1, go!
Bingo! Felons Ain't Failures Podcast 42 is back in the building. This your boy, Coach Chuck, the podcast pastor.
What's going on, everybody? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy, Big Bro Los. Got my cuz sitting next to me, rather. Big Coop.
What's good is Big Coop, the professor.
Yes, sir.
I'm here to drop
Yes,
knowledge and stats.
Yes, sir. And you already
I don't know how I
feel.
feel about that, but yeah.
And he gonna drop him.
Big Bro Los.
Yes, sir.
A compliment.
I'm going to take it. You handle that
There
part.
it is.
He ain't got no stats.
Well, you already know who it is. It's your boy, Big Bo. God, Lee.
That's
C-Moss, your boy. That was his coach, Smurf. We back in the building for another great podcast.
Y'all going to see it. We ain't cutting it. They don't cut mine. We ain't cutting here.
Wow.
applause.
Hey, man, we here. We live and we in action, baby. It is what it is.
We enjoying and loving every
Yes, sir.
day. It's the People's Podcast. Don't forget.
Yes, sir.
It's
Can't
the
cut
People's
that.
Podcast.
Definitely. Shout out to the felons. Shout out to those who support the felons.
Absolutely.
Shout out to every black man across America,
We
every
know your
brown
plight.
man.
We know
And
your
shout out
plight.
to all our Caucasian brothers and sisters that support what we're trying to do for ourselves.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
This is not a movement that we push Caucasians out. This is a movement where we're just saying, man, if you support us, rock with us. If not, just move out the way and let us do what we do.
Absolutely.
Because we got to get us back together.
Absolutely.
Roll with us so
And
we
y'all,
gonna roll.
and a lot of people know, everybody see what's going on since administration
Yeah.
don't change.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real.
And so we've been in a fight already as black and brown people.
Yes.
And now the heat has been turned up.
Absolutely.
We are
And we
born
we on
with
broil.
statistics.
And we got to fight again. Well, we might be back marching and protesting
But the thing
for our
is,
civil rights, man.
when we are left to our own device, we've always flourished.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
So
So,
you better watch out.
yeah.
You try to strip everything away from us if you want to.
We'll figure it out.
You're going to see who God chose.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Absolutely.
But we
Let me
appreciate
just-
all
let me-
support,
let me-
man.
all
We
support.
appreciate
Back
all
off of that,
support.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Back off
appreciate
that real quick.
it. We appreciate all
Sorry
support.
about that.
But today, man, let's roll right into it, man. We just shot. But I can't wait till y'all see that Family Matters. We just shot a Family Matters, man, podcast,
Powerful.
man.
Powerful.
Hour or so. We're gonna shoot some more on it.
Powerful.
Yeah,
Powerful.
we're gonna break it
You
down
got
some
to
more.
tune in to it. Black
Powerful.
man, felons, everybody, you got to watch it.
Men, women,
You
Family
got to
Family
watch
Matters.
it.
Yeah.
You got to watch it and
Please
listen to
watch
some of the things that we
Yes.
hit on.
Yeah.
But
God's
today,
hierarchy.
man, we want to talk, and we got this Big Bone Demos Seamos, as he called himself. He talked
I ain't
about.
say no bone. I was
Tell
going to
me.
say Big Bro, but I caught
Oh,
myself.
okay,
Don't
okay.
call me no
Okay.
Big
Bone.
Bone. Yeah, what do you got
I thought you was
going
being
on?
like Bone or something. I ain't know. Skinny Bone or what? But shout out.
Douglas Ruckus?
Nah. Somebody
Come
else.
on.
We got to get you out of the 80s. Shout out to Bone Thugs and Harmony. That's what
Yes.
Big Bro Los was just talking about.
Yeah.
But I want to let's have a good conversation about like what is your why, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I think what I've learned, and I even wrote about it in that book back there that we getting ready to represent. I talked about that in life, you have to reach a point in life where whatever you're doing, whatever you pursuing, it has to be bigger than you. And I think when a person, especially of all culture and my felons, I think when the reason for doing what we're doing is because there's a level of success that we want, at some point, I think that tank runs out of gas. Because you have to expect, it's common, it's just a human thing, that at some point, you're not going to be as inspired as you was.
Yes.
You're not going to be as motivated as you was, especially when you don't see the fruit appearing on the tree that you've been working to cultivate all this time, because everything takes time. So it brought us to this topic where, and it's something we want to encourage our listeners to, is think about what it is that you're pursuing in your life, and if the why is because of the success you want, reestablish that why, because it has to be something bigger than you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So, and we want to talk along those topics, and I think I might just hit us off with a question at some point. Go ahead, bro.
Make your why so big.
My
that the
question
how
to you
doesn't
is
matter.
what is your why? What is the reason that you get up every day to do whatever it is you're pursuing to do? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get up and go to work, and you know what they say? These bills got to be paid. It's a terrible why.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a terrible why. So even if that's your why, I get up because I got to go pay these bills, I need you to reestablish that why. Get up for a different reason other than to pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? You can get up and go to work because you may be learning a craft, you may be learning a skill that someday you can figure out how to turn that into a side hustle. Like have a paradigm shift.
Yeah.
Change your perspective on even why you get up in the morning. And that's why we want to talk about reestablishing your whys. So real quick, I want to go around the table. I guess I'll begin with me.
Yeah.
And let's introduce to them something that each of us are significantly pursuing and what is our why. So I'll begin with me. One thing that I'm significantly pursuing in my life is everyone know we have this Felons Ain't Failures Podcast, and we also have a nonprofit, the Felons Ain't Failures Fortitude Corporation. So those are two things that I'm significantly pursuing.
Significantly.
Yeah, I'm struggling.
Significantly.
I'm gonna say another
What are you
word.
trying to say?
I'm gonna say really.
Yeah.
Try real hard. I'm trying really hard. I'm trying really hard.
Significantly.
I'm telling you, but we just shot an awesome episode. Let's pull a lot out.
Miles want to go on the blooper. Know that.
But I'm trying real hard. I'm really pursuing the podcast and the nonprofit, how those two tie together. And my why is because it is very important. I get up, I do what I do. I'm always in here. I'm always thinking. I'm always writing because I am committed to changing the perspective for the felon. Because I've been in prison, and I haven't been in prison long like a lot of people, but it don't take nothing but a week for you to, if you pay attention and you realize the original intent and design of prison. And so I understand the psychological molding that it does.
Yes.
To people when you in prison. A lot of people think, oh, I'm fine. You know, I got my head straight. I'm thinking about business. Most people think about how they're going to hustle smarter when they get out. But there's an unseen psychological molding that takes place in your mind from you just being in that place. And people don't understand that patterns and stuff that they establish in your life for you, telling you what time to get up, giving you a certain amount of time to go eat, making sure you know you got to shave, haircuts, getting up and going to work call, even when you're sick, it's a certain procedure for work call. So they're setting patterns in our lives that's psychologically molding us. You know what I'm saying? And so they want you to see things one way in prison, and they want you to see that we are in charge of you. You do everything we say. Everything you get comes from us. Okay. You are at the mercy of whatever we decide to do for you. You understand what I'm saying? So,
slavery.
And it puts you in the mindset of survival when you're in prison. A lot of cats, they try to figure out how to survive. You know what I'm saying? How to work around, how to manipulate, how to be slick and get around certain things that prison is set to do. But it's just a survival. And so my why is I want to change that perspective. I don't want my guys coming out of prison with that mindset of I got to figure out how to survive. You know what I'm saying? I want my guys to come out and see things differently, because when you see it differently, you do differently, you become differently, and you can have different things. So my why for how I pursue everything is because I need to create a paradigm shift for felons. I need to undo what the prison system has. Is unseemly a word?
Unseen. Yeah.
Unseemly. Yeah, I want to undo what the prison system has
done
unknowingly, not unknowingly, but just like you don't see it. You don't see what it does to you. Because you ask guys in prison, they'll say, "Man, it ain't teaching me to depend on them." Mm-hmm. But you know, they say when you do something for 28 days, it becomes a habit. It becomes a natural part of your life. Yeah. So once you've done so much time, you don't even know it. And I remember they say the greatest trick that the devil has ever did was he made people think that he didn't exist.
Yep.
That's the greatest trick that he's ever did. He made people think that he wasn't real and that he didn't exist, that he wasn't there. And I think the prison system has adopted that, and their strength lies in us not knowing psychologically what they've done to us by creating patterns.
Subconsciously.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. There go the professor.
That's why you're here.
Us not knowing what the prison system has subconsciously done to us, and they did it through intention. You know what I'm saying? Intentionality. So my why is I got to change that paradigm. I got it. And things that we talk about is, when you watch these podcasts, we're always giving out tools of how to fight this battle from a mindset point first. Because everything begins in the mind. You know what I'm saying? The mind is so powerful. And because you can close your eyes right now, and I can describe a double cheeseburger with bacon and and
I
he
just
gonna have
said
to fight
I
it
was
out. A double
Got me
cheeseburger
over here chewing
with
gum.
bacon,
He talking about a
a
double
bubblegum
cheeseburger.
sandwich.
Coach
The big
Brown.
Rolo said.
Mentos.
But I could describe it. I could describe it, and you can see it in your mind. You can
Yes.
create that picture
And your
in your
body will
mind,
react to it.
and your body will react
Yeah, my
to
dad
it.
just
And
used to
that's
start
what the
flowing.
prison system has done for a lot of us. Is that it has created that bacon double cheeseburger in our mind, and our body craves that. And so after you spend so much time in prison, and you don't even know it, because the greatest trick the devil ever did was made you think that he didn't exist. You don't know that they have created that bacon double cheeseburger in your mind,
Wow.
and your body craves what they have been giving you those 10, 12,
Wow.
13, 3 years,
So
4
that's
years.
That's what they call
And-
when you're
Institutionalized.
Institutionalized.
And you come out in survival mode. You
Wow.
come out trying to survive instead of coming out trying to thrive.
You could envision walking on the
And
beach.
then you'll say, you know what? It's better when I had 3 hots in the cot.
And that's why a lot of cats go back to prison. A lot of cats be like, "Man, I'll go right back." They'll go
Yeah.
right back because
It's
that's
structure.
easier.
3 hots in the cot.
Yeah, it's easier to be in prison because they're gonna feed you, get you a job, and things like that.
Wow.
Versus you have to come out here and be
And
be
go
responsible.
get it.
So my
Unbelievable.
and that's my why. I need to change that. I need them to understand that you can be whatever you want to be in life if you put the work in. That you can ascertain certain things in life. That you don't have to take what's given to you.
Yeah.
You can go out and get what you feel like you deserve.
Absolutely.
And that's the
Why
reason
not?
that's the reason that we started this. That's the reason that the nonprofit is rolling out.
There it
And that's
is.
the reason that I'm here every day. And that's
There it
all I
is.
can do is think about eat, drink, sleep, and this.
Why not us? Why not now?
Why not us? Why not
That
now?
was an episode.
So I pass it on. Big Brolos. What
Okay,
what are you really going after hard in your life? And what's your reason for it?
That's significant. Okay. You know, I thought about something, bro. My journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I don't try to be this. I feel like I'm a representation of the people out there. You know, I think that's what's my part of this podcast. It's not everybody, of course, but I think that there's a mindset of a lot of people out there that I had coming up. You know, so I started working for the city January 19th, 1986. 1986. And when I tell you what I worked in wastewater, I worked in the same department for 35 years.
Shout out.
35 years. You know,
Wastewater.
I retired, you know, benefits, pension, all that good stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I want somebody else to look at wherever they're working at right now. Imagine you working there for 35 years. If you're working at McDonald's, imagine working there for the next 35 years. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. What I'm getting to is what I did every day was the same thing. And see, D-Moss, you know, because you work in the same department I did. The same thing, Big Coop,
Yeah.
for 35 years.
Yeah. Let me just
Y'all
say that
just
we all
was-
admire everybody, all of Carlos's friends, Big Boy
Yeah.
Los,
That's true.
all of us admired
I knew I had a good job.
that he did that. We will always say, man, Los gonna be better than all us.
So, but I say that to say, for 35 years, FAF 42 podcast listeners, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Took the pipe out, put new pipe in.
Yeah.
Took the pipe out, put new pipe in.
Yeah.
Put the hose in the water, clean the pipe.
Yeah.
Put the camera in the water, take a picture of the pipe.
Yeah.
For 35 years. I thought because I'm getting a check every week, and I worked 10 hours a day for the first 25 years or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So all day, this is what I'm doing. So I'm saying this to try to get to what we talk about, you know, what is my why? My mindset was, I'm just going to do this and retire. So I didn't develop my true why
Mm-hmm.
to this podcast.
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
You know what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong with
I
that.
mean, because there were all I've always liked talking to people. You know, when I remember when I was one of the assistant coaches at Bogasega High School, Coach Stevie Thomas
Shout out
Stevie.
Thomas,
Yes,
my
Shout out to
teammate
Stevie.
from Bethune-Cookman,
was the
first
head
team
coach.
All-American.
And in pregame, when we talking about, we going over film, all the stuff, writing stuff down, he would say, "Los, get them right," and walk out the room. They was mine. Like, get them right, get them ready. You know, so I've always had that. And I've always been sitting around and at times, and I saw myself walking on the stage talking to 10,000, talking to 20,000. You know, as comfortable as I am, in this table right now in front of these cameras talking to everybody,
Yeah.
I wish I was talking to
Yeah.
everybody that's listening. The 300 subscribers we got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Everybody else that pays attention. I wish I was talking to y'all because that is what I like to do. And that is my why.
That's what's up.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I want to change the narrative and the mindset of people who are stuck in that rut that we've talked about before. You know,
Yeah.
thinking that because it's working,
Mm-hmm.
that's all that needs to be. You don't have to settle. I think we probably talked about that too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
don't
know-
settle. Yeah,
you know,
we talked about that. That's an
change-
episode.
I want to be able to talk to you and inform you and tell you that it can be so much more.
Yeah.
Yes.
It can be so much more.
If you want more, get more. Shout out.
If you want more,
Book
get
coming
more.
soon.
Shout out
It'll be on the
to get
website. Give us a
You
few
know,
weeks.
so I'm especially with young kids, you know, Coop, you're gonna get on that because you already doing that. You know what I'm saying? But not just the young kids. I can talk to the young kids, the people in the middle, even the people like I'm 58 years old. You know, I always say I'm almost 60. You know,
Wow.
Our parents were 60. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Mom's then was 60. But there are people out there of that age and the elderly, you know, who kind of might feel like, well, ain't nothing else I can do. You know, but there's always something else. You can do.
Always.
We can always be better.
Always.
We can always find more enjoyment in our lives. So my mindset now is, okay, I have a platform. I'm going to take it out there. I'm going to represent the people. I'm going to talk to the people. I want the people listening. I'm going to be listening to them as well. It's one thing to listen, but I'm going to hear them.
Yes.
You know, it's one thing to listen, kind of just go in and I'm going to hear you, you know, and I want to share my experience, my 35 years, my doing the same thing every day and just kind of figuring that, okay, I'm going to retire one day and I'm just going to go do fish or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There is so much more to life after retirement.
Yes.
So much more to life
Yes,
after retirement.
Good
Absolutely.
point. Good
You
point.
know, you don't have to just because you don't work anymore doesn't mean there ain't no work to be done.
Still always purpose.
Still always purpose.
Always
Purpose never dies.
Purpose never dies.
Never dies.
Purpose
And
never
you
dies.
said a key thing. I like how you said that your why really wasn't established until you
That's
start
powerful.
doing this podcast.
That's
And that's
powerful.
important
That's
that
powerful.
people need to know that. If you haven't had it up until this
Right.
date,
Doesn't
you
matter.
can find it now. You can
That's
you
right.
can discover it now.
That's
so
right.
appreciate that. Let's move it on, Big Cool. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's rock with it.
Listen. I'm trying to encapsulate 57 years
Define stuff.
of
Go ahead.
passionate anger in the next 5 minutes.
Okay. I promise you ain't gonna do 5.
Passionate
But go
anger.
ahead. You're on the clock now.
Passionate anger, meaning righteous indignation.
Gotcha.
Righteous indignation, the right to be upset.
Okay.
That's what God got.
That's what Jesus had when he
Let's
put
go.
the
Let's
money
go.
changers out the church.
Let's go.
Righteous indignation. Get y'all butts out of here. Christ almost cussed out. So listen, here's my why. As a young man,
Mm-hmm.
I used to realize there's some inequities and some inequalities that we have in society towards my people. And I didn't know how to express it when I was 10, 11, 12. But it was something that was put inside of me ever since I can remember to use my life as a platform to uplift and educate our people on the ills of the system that's designed to keep us oppressed.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I've been researching this, and my wife can tell you I drive her crazy with this. Ever since,
Shout out to Kamara Cooper.
shout out to Kamara Cooper, who's on a boat right now.
Shout out, K.
Chilling in
Oh,
the hammock.
On the
Chilling
balcony.
On the balcony. But anybody who knows me understands that I've researched and I've studied and I've cried to try to help fix the ills that are put on our people through
Mm-hmm.
economics,
Yes.
politics, education, and religion. And use that education to help us narrow the wealth gap
Mm-hmm.
that plagues our people. Because people think that we naturally are poor
Yeah.
because of our inefficiencies to produce as a people. What people don't realize is we've been roadblocked
Mm-hmm.
with so much legislation that it keeps us from achieving all that we can. And through that, we still rise.
Yeah.
So I've traveled all across this world. I've traveled to countries in Africa. I've traveled to countries in the Caribbean, all through the diaspora. The diaspora, meaning where blacks were taken.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I can tell you, they all look to us to sound the trumpet to help their plight as well.
Okay.
So my why is, how can I use my life to help my people
Mm-hmm.
rise above the systemic racism put on them by
The oppressors.
systematic oppressors?
That's right.
That's my why. So I'm out there daily with certain groups. Matter of fact, I'm an executive board member of the NAACP local chapter.
Gotcha.
I'm a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out to the Qs.
The cues.
Shout out to the
Q's.
Um,
Is that how you do it? Because I wouldn't want
no,
to do
that's
this.
not how you do it.
Oh,
No,
okay.
don't do that.
Well, I
Please.
apologize.
Sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
man.
guys. New Hope Missionary Baptist Church.
New Hope.
Shout out to
Pastor Senior.
Pastor Senior, who is just as passionate as I am.
Los.
Those,
That's how long we known each other.
yes,
we know
yes.
we know names.
Absolutely. So my why is whatever I have to do. And it's sacrificial.
Yes, sir.
This work is thankless,
Yeah.
and it is a work of a martyr.
Yes.
I don't care about recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All I care about is, how do my people fare? I read an article in 2017 that scared me to death. This article said, y'all ready for a stat?
Yeah, let's go.
This article said, by 2053,
Uh-huh.
black median wealth, median means the middle.
Yeah.
Middle class.
No, not middle class, it means the middle. In other words, if you take the high and the low,
And you put it in the middle.
yeah,
Okay.
in the middle. Black median wealth, just in America, would be zero. More terrifying than a horror movie.
Yeah.
Dog. You feel me? Black median wealth would be zero. Now, what happened after 2017 was COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The article came back and readjusted the numbers by 2043 because we had lost so much wealth during
Mhm.
COVID. So y'all understand, when there's a disaster, economic or whatever, when whites get a cold, blacks get the flu.
Yeah.
Feel what I say?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's
econ-
harder.
We get hit
Economically,
harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Economically, more businesses, we got more businesses that closed
Yeah.
from COVID than everybody else.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're not
To
gonna
our
really
counterparts.
we're not gonna dive too deep in this, but
Yeah.
I said it last time. If you look at the activities of the current administration, it's designed to hit us.
Listen, when we
It's
get into
designed to
that,
hit us.
we'll all go over that.
Yeah.
So now watch this. In the diaspora, meaning where we are spread out among the world, black people,
Mm-hmm.
when we get the cold in Black America, the rest of us get the flu in
Mm-hmm.
the diaspora.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the economic impact that oppression has had on parts of Africa,
Yeah.
parts of Panama, parts of Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually been there.
Mhm.
You know, the Nigerian dollar, the Naira is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
One of our dollars, one raggedy, can't even buy $1 of US dollar
Everybody
is
doesn't hear.
worth 1,600 of theirs.
Wow.
Little bro, I'm
Wow.
giving away dollars in Nigeria, and the kids are going berserk. I just gave them $1,600.
They finna go pay rent.
You feel what I'm trying to tell you?
Wow.
I'm in my room at night. I can't. I had to call. I said, "Babe, one of our dollars is worth 1,600 of theirs. I give a man 10 US dollars. I've given this man.
16 grand.
Right.
Look, Charles, can you imagine somebody just coming over here and giving us 16 grand? It's the same equivalent.
Mm.
To him, it was 16 grand.
Right.
I could not believe it. And the way they got that way was through corruption, government,
Mm-hmm.
but they fed the interests of other countries,
Yeah.
like our countries.
That's right.
You know. So not getting to that right now.
Correct.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But my why is to uplift people.
I
And
gotcha.
not just black people, because my mother is Boricua.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Shout out to Dolly.
Yeah.
Dollarita.
Absolutely.
And that's key and that's something that we're gonna have to eventually talk about. Being that you said that article and they reduced that time,
Yep.
and we can see
The clock is
the
ticking.
wheels in motion
Systematically.
to
it's
make
being
that
done.
happen.
That's right.
Yeah.
We got to figure out, and we're gonna have to talk about on this
Systematically being
podcast
done.
how we
Yeah.
gonna fight that.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we talked about it last episode when they watched this Family Matters.
Yeah.
We begin there.
Yeah.
But we're going to strategically
Yeah.
have to have some great conversations on
gotta
this
fight it
podcast.
through
And
those-
we got to bring some people in.
You got to fight
Yeah.
it through those 4 quadrants that I named.
Yeah, that's why I said we got to bring
Because,
some people
for
in.
example,
Yeah.
because when people say, "Oh, we got to get there to get some money," that's true. But if you get money but don't have somebody in politics to help you keep your money,
Mm-hmm.
they will
Right.
take your money.
The right
Yeah.
structure there. That's
So-
how I take it.
So the Kennedys, for example, they have a lobbyist on staff.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're billionaires, we'll hire a lobbyist to work for us only,
Yeah.
and their job is to go to DC and to put this bill in motion. We want that bill passed
To keep our
to
money.
keep our wealth,
Right.
right? See, we think it's just we got to get the money. No, you got to get somebody in politics also.
Mhm.
And then we tell that person, look, take that envelope to Senator so-and-so. I hate to say it this way. Take that
That's
envelope
how
to
it
him.
go.
That's
Yeah.
how it go. When you open that envelope, tell him how's his wife doing. He's going to see all them hundreds,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to help us pass that
We're
bill.
gonna pass
That's
that
what
bill.
lobbyists do. They
Yeah,
lobby.
that's what they do.
That's how it
They
happens.
lo-
That's how it works.
That's the world.
Believe it.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got to participate in that system. Also economically, also educationally, and also
Religiously.
as well. All those
Whole
quadrants is what the enemy who hides himself
Mm-hmm.
uses to attack us.
That's right.
So listen, if I control those 4 quadrants, I control a whole city.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah, you control the whole
You know,
culture.
A whole culture. So that's me.
That's what they've
That's
done.
my why. I'm sorry,
Okay.
y'all. I'm
Appreciate it now. You was a little longer than
But-
5
But
minutes. We knew that.
It's okay, but cool because it gives us avenues to shoot more episodes. and certain things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's important. The reason we did this, I said that then. Go ahead, Coach Smurf. D-Mouse, C-Mouse, you do yours and then we'll close out. What are you significantly pursuing now in your life? And what's your reason for
It
doing that?
kind of goes into my purpose that for the longest I had no clue of what it was.
Mhm.
Me and you've had numerous of conversations
Wow.
about me saying, I know I'm here for a reason.
Absolutely.
I've been through a lot of ups and downs. I've been shot.
Mm.
I've been through a whole lot that where only God is the reason that I'm still here. Because I'm supposed to be here, but if the world would tell you I don't supposed to be here,
Well, you here.
yeah, and
Let
I'm
God
here.
say so.
Now what?
Yeah, and I didn't understand why.
Yeah.
But when I look back over my life and understand the things that I've been through as far as coaching, helping my great-grandmother, helping my father cook for the homeless, and
Yeah.
myself taking it over and doing it for a few years and actually missing it. But there's so many other people doing this, kind of pointless to go back into it.
Yes.
From starting the LLC of D-Moss, C-Moss, to now being on the FAF, Felons Ain't Failures 42 podcast.
Powerful.
My why
Powerful.
is to give back
Mhm.
in any shape or form that I can.
Yeah.
Me personally, mostly for the youth. But yeah, my why is to give back, and I've looked, like I said, when I look back over my life, I understand I've been doing that for the longest. Just didn't understand that's what it was.
Yeah.
Until the podcast pastor sat me down one day and let me know, like, bro, if you look back at what you've been doing, what you accomplished, what you've been through, you've always been a people's person. You've always
Yes.
been a giver.
Yeah.
And
And you always, because we talked about it, just so they know, when we narrowed it down, really look, defining that purpose as he was created to enrich
other
the
people.
lives of people.
Yeah,
And he's
that's
done
a
that
powerful
through
gift.
Little League coaching. He do that through his
Powerful gift.
the health, from the health aspect with the C-Mouse, D-Mouse, so
Yeah.
and that type of stuff there. So
So yeah,
Powerful gift helps.
I feel my why is I finally understood it now. Is to give
And enrich.
unselfishly and enrich other people's lives to
Amen.
better their lives.
Amen. That's
but it's important to remember, I'm gonna say this, then you go ahead. And people have to understand is that we talk about helping and all that, it costs to help. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It costs to help.
So
Sacrifice.
and real
Sometimes
quick,
it hurt
real
to
quick,
help.
real quick.
Yes.
The people out there, if you have not created a why right now,
Mhm.
create it. It's not too late.
Yes, sir.
Not too late.
And don't worry about the how.
Yeah.
Make your why so
Create
big
your
that
why.
the how doesn't matter.
How to take care of itself.
And I also want to mention our brother Lopez, who does all our producing and that kind of stuff.
Shout out to Lopez.
You know, he don't get on camera much, but I know just from communicating with him, his elevation, you know, and his why. I'm telling you, when it was just me and the podcast pastor, you know, bro was running off his iPhone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was, you know, it's what
It did what
it's what we knew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I had been telling Lopez about our podcast, you know, just what was going on. He said, man, let me come down there one time. I want to check it out. It's all right, man. I'll get with you. So one Saturday, I said, man, can you come on down? He said, yeah, I'll meet you down there. He came down, and he was just sitting there watching me and Chuck.
Yeah.
And I noticed how he was on his phone, you know, when we was doing the episode.
Mm-hmm.
So when we got done, he said, look at this. And the man showed me one of the most creative videos from us, you know, just sitting right here. I said, you did that sitting in that chair on your phone? He's like, yeah, what I do.
Yeah.
Bam, bro said, you
It
own.
is.
Yeah.
You own. And he has taken us to heights, and it's continuing taking us to heights that's just going to
Yeah.
blow us out the water.
Out
you
the
know?
roof, out the roof.
Yeah, yeah. So appreciate you, Lopez. What you
Yeah,
did.
so
sir.
side
Yes,
note
sir.
to that is, if you get invited by one of us here, you be careful. Because Smurf came as a guest. God opened the door.
Yeah.
Big Coop came as a guest. Lopez came as a guest. You come here, boy, you connect with purpose.
Hey.
If you didn't have nothing
Come as
that you was
guest,
fighting
leave
for
as
in your
family.
life, it's something for you to do.
I
there.
was really coming in. I told bro when he mentioned it to me, I said, yeah, man, I sit in on a couple of them for you. I ain't left. Day one.
You can say that again, because I definitely just came to sit in back there on the couch and watch.
But this
God always has a greater
is
purpose.
the People's
Podcast.
Podcast.
Absolutely.
Building a community,
Yeah.
one episode at a time.
Yeah. And that was the purpose. That was a good thing behind this why. And we did it the way we did it because each of us has a different audience.
audience.
There are people that are going to connect to me that don't connect with y'all.
Yes,
there are people going to connect with you.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So to have these,
Absolutely.
because we are 4 different people with 4
Yeah.
different experiences in life
Right.
and aspects of life.
Yeah.
And we make up this People's Podcast. We make up the community that we're building. You know what I'm saying? We got the educators, we got the retirers, you got the felons, you got the people who are really focused on the youth and that rich people life and that serious about
Yes.
health. All of those components, you know what I'm saying? You got the spirituality that we have. All those components are what it takes to build a healthy community.
Absolutely.
Can I give you a stat?
Go ahead. Yeah, and we'll close it out on that
He
stat.
said
Come on,
4
Professor.
he said 4 people. The number 4 biblically means the entire earth.
Mm.
North, south,
East,
and west.
West.
You say 4, you're talking about all.
Ooh.
And we're going to let y'all go on that Fellas Ain't Failure Podcast. Peace. We love y'all. We'll see y'all
Boom.
next
Yeah,
time.
baby.
Cue the merch.
3, 2, 1.